Rajapetra Kamarudin published MCLM's manifesto for the 13th general election. Essentially, what we have stated is our wish to pursue the end of the marginalization of all human beings that we see in this country. That is through the implementation of a rakyat reform agenda, which we hope we will see carried through by a 13th federal government that is reform orientated. Right now, MCLM is under no illusions that in order to achieve this, we need the fullest possible collaborations with all other parties who share this similar aspiration. That is to take federal power post the 13th general election in order to see these reforms through. Now, it is with this in mind that MCLM has been looking to forge alliances with like-minded parties throughout the country, both in Semenanjung and in Sabah and Sarawak. Now, with this in mind, MCLM has been engaged in discussions both with Sarawak National Party and the United Borneo Front with a view to try to achieve an alliance of sorts. We had hoped to be able to announce an alliance with both SNAP and UBF today. Yesterday we had extensive discussions. Both UBF and MCLM are not desirous of marriages of convenience. What we want to forge is a commitment based on a common stand on fundamentals. Today, I am pleased that we are able to announce a working alliance between Sarawak National Party and MCLM. As for UBF and MCLM, I will be able to inform you that we have not as yet been able to come to a common position on all fundamentals, but I'm also pleased to say that we shall continue to talk with a view to achieving some sort of consensus. Those talks will continue. Now, on that note, perhaps allow me to first invite my good friend, Stanley Jugol from SNAP, to address you.
Thank you, Haris. Ladies and gentlemen and members of the media, first of all, I'm very pleased here to inform you of the re-emergence of Sarawak National Party, SNAP, in Sarawak. Okay, right. And then SNAP re-emergence into the political mainstream has been well received both in Sarawak at home and also here in Semenanjung. This is evident by the working alliance that has been forged by SNAP and MCLM today, okay, as you can see today, as expressed by Encik Haris earlier on. So we are pleased that our friends in MCLM have given us their pledge to render every assistance they can avail to us in the anticipated state elections, which is actually impending. In this regard, we also wish to record our appreciation for the promise of help from our friends in Sabah. So we are interested in forging working relationships with all like-minded Malaysians who want to bring about change during the next Sarawak state and the general elections. So we look forward to working with MCLM, their Rakyat Reform Agenda team, especially in crafting of the social inclusion agenda. And what SNAP is most interested and supportive of is the MCLM agenda. They have, I can tell you, on 4 points here, the agenda that we in SNAP are very interested to support. Hence, the creation of this working alliance. Number one, MCLM and SNAP are both committed to seeing the next federal government, whenever that will be, after the 13th general election, to honor the 18 and 20 points Malaysia Agreement. So later on you can ask us what are the 20 or 18 points. Okay, to restore freedom and liberties of the Rakyat, to repeal the draconian law and to introduce Race Relations Act. Number 3, SNAP subscribe to restore state institutions back to the Rakyat. That is the judiciary, police, election commission, MACC, and the AG's Attorney General's office. Fourth and lastly, we subscribe to their social inclusion agenda to do what the NEP was intended to but never achieved, to get all parties involved in crafting those social inclusion agenda. So these are the agendas of what I call MCLM, which SNAP subscribe to. So it's convenient for us to have a working relationship, working alliance with them to pursue all these ideals. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm the advisor to SNAP, and you all know, probably have read in the newspapers, SNAP had been undergoing some traumatic experience in the last 8 years and had only been restored to life again sometime last year when the Court of Appeal overruled the decision of the Registrar of Society to deregister the party. I was in SNAP originally, and at one time we formed what we call Parti Bangsa Dayak Sarawak. That has been deregistered, and I'm glad that the President of SNAP have reinstated me or reinstated my membership into SNAP. And for that, the election in Sarawak is imminent. And I want to call all Malaysian of Sarawak origin, registered voters in Sarawak, to come back to Sarawak to support SNAP in the next election, because SNAP is committed to, as the Secretary General is concerned, to vest the rights of Rakyat back to the Rakyat. And particularly, I would like to appeal all, as you all know, to appeal to all the Dayak communities that has found jobs in West Malaysia, and of which more than 40,000 of them resident in Johor alone, to support SNAP.
This is a working alliance of a strategic nature. I emphasize the word strategic for this reason. I anticipate you are going to ask questions like, so how are we going to work together? That, my friends, is a matter of strategy. And any strategist will tell you that you don't put up your strategy in neon lights for all and sundry to see. Our friends from Sarawak are very soon to face a state election of huge importance, huge ramification, not just for the Rakyat of Sarawak, but for the Rakyat of Malaysia as a whole. Yes?
I'm sorry. Why aren't you from working alliance with PKR?
Why am I not from...
I mean, why SNAP?
Well, it hasn't happened yet. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I don't know.
It might happen.
Well, all things are possible. You know, I was just talking to one of the other reporters earlier. What I can categorically say is this. As far as MCLM is concerned, the only one we won't work with is BN, because BN, as we see it now, is not in the least bit interested in giving the Rakyat the reforms they need. All right? So all other parties out there haven't been written off. And on that note then, we are open to work with any party that is pro-Rakyat and pro-reform. I mean, the fact that we and PKR and MCLM are not in a working alliance, it's not because we don't want to or that they don't want to. Maybe it just hasn't happened yet. Maybe Datuk Sri is a bit preoccupied right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I wish to know how many seats that you're going to fight as announced by
like Mr. Stanley, they say that 28 seats from Sarawak and 30 seats from Semenanjung as the announcement.
All right. No, you must understand what my friend Stanley has said is 28 state seats. MCLM has said 30 parliamentary seats. I think in Sarawak you have 31 parliamentary seats. 31. So I think that's something that's not being considered right now because everyone's just focused on the immediate state election. Yes.